The Civil War, a war of preservation, one to sustain a Southern way of life and to keep a nation as one, to prove that a democracy could last in face of a rebellion. After years of tension between the North and South over slavery and the spread of its influence, in 1860, when Lincoln was elected, it tipped the balance and started one of the worst wars in U.S. history. After the South attacked Fort Sumter, it set the stage for a long and horrible conflict. Today, we will be discussing what would have happened if Europeans helped the CSA in the Civil War. At the start of the war, everyone expected an easy breakthrough at the First Battle of Bull Run, but that would not be true in our time. In this scenario, however, there would be a breakthrough, but not in favor of the Union. At the battle, the Confederate States had a massive push through of Union lines, and this would terrify Union and troops alike. Now that they had started the war with a successful push, the South was on its way to have some very powerful allies. They would gather their forces and attempt an invasion at Antietam. With the full force of the Confederate Army, they attacked the Union, who was stunned by the defeat at Bull Run. The people of the Union now questioned the reliability of their military. At this battle, the North felt unprepared and outmatched by what they thought was an incompetent and lazy section of the former United States. So at Antietam, the demoralized North created a self-fulfilling prophecy, and the Southern forces easily overpowered them. The North was overwhelmed and pushed back. The very impressed Europeans decided to ally with their source of raw materials. In early 1862, the French and British landed on Confederate soil and joined their forces for the planned invasion of Washington, D.C. The end was near for the Union. The three nations began the invasion, and it seemed it would end soon, but the Union sent almost all of its forces to D.C. to try and push into the South. But sadly, it was useless. Their forces were outnumbered and outperformed. They were overwhelmed easily and crushed by the enemy forces and were forced to surrender. Now the South was able to control the treaty and would likely bully the North to get whatever they wanted. The Confederate States of America were now the dominant force in the Western Hemisphere. They had two very powerful allies they could use to take from the Union and build their influence. Eventually, minorities would be freed, but this would take decades longer than in our timeline. They would also likely always face prejudice. But this topic deserves its own episode I'll talk about next time. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and tune in next time.